Hey, what's up, guys? I put up a quote recently that said that, you know, sometimes the people around you make you hate yourself. That was something, that I struggled with for a long, long time of my life. I hung around the wrong people, you know, whether it was like the kids that were around my neighborhood, the people I went to school with, the people I worked around. It made it so easy to just hate yourself. The people, like, that's why they say you should always surround yourself with good people who want the best for you. um I don't care how strong you are mentally, physically, or or spiritually. People will affect how you perceive yourself. That is a very important thing. The reason you don't see yourself at the best way or the optimal level is because of your past, because you hung around certain people that made you feel a certain way about yourself. It is hard as it is in society. Society teaches you to hate everything that's not what they want you to like. So practically everyone's hating themselves at some point or another. I'm not saying to the point where like you just want to end everything for yourself. I'm talking about you hate certain parts of yourself. And that's completely normal. That's normal because that is just the way the world is sometimes. But what's even worse is when you surround yourself consistently or constantly around those type of people, where you're always around them. Whether those are the kids that you're hanging out with on the weekends, those are the people that you're working with, and you're grabbing a drink afterwards, or you're going to see a movie theater with somebody. If you feel like you're starting to hate yourself, you're starting to criticize yourself, there's an issue. When I was younger, I used to hang out with a lot of assholes. I didn't know better, obviously. What ended up happening was I started to hate myself. The reason I started to hate myself is because like they were like, Muhammad, why are you so nice? I do X, Y, and Z. So I ended up hating myself. It's like, okay, I do not like, bully people. I don't take advantage of people. I treat people well because I want to get treated the same way. They were like, no, 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 no. This is nonsense. No, no, this is bullshit. You do not, like, what? No, don't do those things, Treat people a little bit like shit, so that way, it's better in life. You earn more respect and whatnot, right? That's the way you're taught. But then you come to realize that people were teaching you how to hate yourself. That because you're a good person, or because you like to do a certain thing, or because you look a certain way, that now you have to hate yourself, right? Because obviously this is what's working with the people around you. The 4 or 5 people you're surrounding yourself with are this way. And they're all fine with it. They're accepting of one another and of themselves, apparently, because they have these shit qualities, or these qualities that are uniquely different than yours. And then you, as a person who is different, tend to now, want to fit in. You're not getting this self-acceptance. When you don't get self-acceptance, you don't get acceptance around you, you start to hate yourself. That's exactly what happens. Because love and self-acceptance go coincide with one another. Those two things go together. The reason you want to be loved is because you want to feel accepted. You want to be accepted for all your flaws, right? That's something that we all struggle with and we all desire as human beings. Because I'm sorry, no one here on this earth is a prophet or godly like, Everyone is flawed. As much as we would hope we could have not been. And I'm putting this video out because I feel like it's very critical for people to understand how and why you start to hate yourself. And a lot of this happens at your adolescent years and your teen years. Those are the years when you're developing. You lack censorship from what reality is and how the world can be such a dark place at times. It makes it so hard to understand that. Growing up, I didn't know about these things. And the unfortunate part isn't just that. It's the part when you grow older, you become an adult, a young adult, a human being who's able to have responsibilities, who other people start to rely on. And you start to find that you have these problems. Now that's when it becomes a bigger issue. It's one thing that happened in the past, keep the things in the past, they say. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you carry that into your present. And then you start to realize that, Why do I not accept myself a lot more? Why do I need these ways of, you know, getting these validations? Why do I hate this so much? Why do I beat myself up so internally to the point where it's like I can't even stand being by myself? All of these things affect you. And the worst part is sometimes you're so used to that type of treatment, you start hanging out with people who remind you and make you feel like how you felt when you were a kid. You start going to be in a relationship with a person who treats you that way. You know? You start being around people who drag you down. The same way that happened when you were a kid. You didn't have that support. You have a bunch of people who just drag you down. They don't want to see your potential because they aren't at their potential. Also, they have the same issues as you. You know? Those are the things I'm trying to make more revealing, more out there, more capable of a person to see at a level that they weren't at before. The reason I'm saying this is not because I have all this information or this life experience, as many others do, but to be able to see it in front of you is important. That way it's easier to tackle. You're not going to be in a place where you're confused and everything seems so daisy. If that makes any sense. You're in a place now where you could see things more clearly and you can act more efficiently. You could stop certain bullshit in your life. You know? So, I know I ranted a little bit, and obviously a lot of this is something that I personally went through. And I don't want people to go through it as well. And if you are, to stop it while you can. And if you can. Obviously, it's very hard. It's very hard to stop these type of things. But you could get there. I believe in you. It's not going to take 1 month. Maybe not 1 year. Maybe not 2 years. Maybe not 3 years. But you will get there. Best believe it. It will happen. And there are many people who have stories that they could show you how they came out of some of the worst treatments in their life to the most self-hate that they ever could have, to the point where they were going to end their lives. There are people who went through so much more than you and I, and who are still going through it and have come out of it, come out the other end. So always believe that there are people who have come out of it. Best of luck, take care, and if you can, guys, just give a like to my video. I would really appreciate it. Take care, guys.